Week 8 announcements, TE 875. This week your policy formation project is due. Here's some ideas to help. Number 1, first to get started, find the policy procedures manual for your school library or the one you've chosen to partner with for this class. Read through the manual and choose 3 policy sections that you think need rewriting. Usually it's not hard to find areas that need to be rewriting because our policy manuals really should be updated constantly, and we as human beings just don't put this at the top of our list. But be sure to be careful about which sections you choose because I do not want you to choose selection, collection development, or copyright policies because you're going to be rewriting those policies in other classes. In fact, some of you already have. As you're deciding which policies to rewrite, it would be good to discuss the currency of this manual with the school librarian, or if you are the school librarian, discuss this with the clerical aide or a teacher. If your school library doesn't have a manual, you can write the 3 policies from scratch, and actually sometimes that's easier. Good policies to rewrite or write are the policies concerning fines and damaged books, circulation or checking out materials, scheduling policy, and policy on electronic access and acceptable use. Remember, you only have to choose 3. Number 2. Next, rewrite or write the policies according to what is actual practice in the school library program or according to the changes you're wanting to make. If you need more guidance and examples, the links I have posted under Week 8 should be helpful. Now, this next part's important. I used italics in the written announcements. Please remember that if you're revising established policies, to make those changes in red font. That way I know which work you've done. If your policies are entirely original or you're writing from scratch, then please state this somewhere in the project. Number 3, the next step is to look at the grading criteria posted for the project. The elements you'll want to include are: number 1, the policy clearly reflects the mission of the school and the library, so you'll want to include those. Number 2, the policy clearly integrates the AASL 21st Century Learner Standards, and they are indicated there as well. Now, I put in the written announcements a link to those standards. Number 3, the policy keeps in mind the audience or the people it affects. Number 4, you've included a plan of adoption of the new policies with the timeline, as well as strategies for communicating the new policies to your staff. Number 5, the policy is well organized. And number 6, at least 2 sources you used to write the policy are documented. Now, a little bit more about that. Number 4, the policies should be in the format of the manual into which they will be inserted. If you're writing from scratch, then you can choose the format that you'll use. List your references in APA format in an ending page. Now, if you have trouble with that, see help under the Aids and Tutorials button in Blackboard. Cite your references within the policies in correct APA format. For example, if you are putting in the 21st Century Learner Standards, and I strongly suggest that you do, you'd want to put in parentheses AASL, 2007. That way you're citing your source, both in text and at the end in the reference list in correct APA format. Now, I fully expect that you'll be looking at other policies, some of the ones that I've posted and maybe others, and that you'll be adapting them for your school. And if you're doing that, if you're directly quoting those sources, you can do that, but be sure that you put your direct quotes in quotation marks and cite them. If you're adapting policies, you can just put in parentheses, adapted from, and then put your citation. Let me know if you have any questions. This assignment used to be rewriting and writing the entire policy manual of a school library. But I'd rather see you do 3 policies really well. Then you can do the rest of the manual on your own when you have time in another life. Have a great week.